meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Let me just visit my. Hey,
Great. Hello.
yes, we're live.
Yeah.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's so nice to see you all. Let me just make sure that I made it on public. Okay, so just to make sure everyone can see it. All right, very good, very good. Okay,
Great.
so we have viewers coming in. So, all right, so good afternoon once again. My name is Jenny, and this is another episode of Real Talk with Jenny. Last week we have talked about the real estate industry and how it's going at the moment during this pandemic time. So that is a bit of a segue. I mean, that is a bit far from what we have been discussing earlier on, because earlier on we talked about parenting, about fear, about moving on, and we've also tackled about homeschooling. So we are now on our 11th episode. Woohoo! I'm just so happy. I'm still overwhelmed to have people who are saying yes to me, and they are so generous with sharing their areas of expertise so that we are able to help more people um, understand our personal life, the issues that we're encountering these days during this pandemic, and so and this time around, this episode, I would like to talk about Theta Healing. I have seen Theta music online on YouTube, and initially I thought it was just like a meditational thing, and I really don't have any clue about it. Um, so I am so grateful to this wonderful lady. Yeah, I've met her, I think like 2 years ago. Yeah, something like that.
Mm.
And I met her through friends in the travel industry. Yeah, so everyone is missing that. I suppose everyone wants to travel but can't do anything about it. But yeah, so we can just make use of our time and learn more. That's why we have this real talk episode. So I just wanted to just briefly do my good friend who said yes to me today. I know she's busy a lot of times. Okay. So, with me is no other than Connie. She's born and raised in Hong Kong, and she got her master's degree in international marketing and communication from the University of Leicester in UK. But the good thing is she has moved here in the Philippines since 2018. She's doing a lot of things. But one of the things that she's doing is Theta Healing. So without further ado, guys, I'd like you to meet Connie, my good friend. Thank you so much, Connie, for saying yes.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Yeah. I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Connie.
Yes.
Um, just for our audience to have a sneak peek.
Mm-mm.
You know, you were a career woman in Hong Kong. And then you moved in here in the Philippines. So they might be wondering, oh, what is Connie doing here in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Just a little bit about herself
Yeah, I moved
before we
here in
go to
2018, in the beginning of 2018. So there were some other business issues. So that's why I decided to move here. So, however, I think things happen for a reason. So before I moved here, I didn't actually expect that myself would become a healer. But although I've been really spiritual for since I was really young, I would say over a decade. So that's a fate. So after I moved here, so I've been really focused on the healing, and that's what I've been doing. So I guess I get my certification to become a data healer, and I've been like a practice and also healing a lot of people here in the Philippines, and also outside the Philippines, as I do online healing as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
good.
it
So
was because of
how long
the
have you
business, and then I become a healer. So it's like a totally different story, but things are connected. Yeah.
sometimes, we don't expect things to happen, but they just put it in such a
Exactly.
way
When you least
that
expected it.
we become the person who we are at the moment.
Yeah, correct.
So how long have you been doing theta? Oh, okay. First and foremost, maybe you can enlighten us about theta healing. What is theta healing actually?
Okay, so if you search on Google, actually we have all different brain waves, like a different brain frequency. So theta is one of the brain frequency that allow us to tap into the subconscious mind. So from there, what we can do is, all of us, we have limiting beliefs. For example, the beliefs that we learned or we inherit from our parents when we were young, right? So we carry a lot of their beliefs. And those beliefs are going to affect or block us to achieve more than we want in life. And we didn't realize it because they're all in our subconscious mind. So if you understand that 95% of our life are running by our subconscious mind. So only 5% that we are consciously know what we are doing here. So imagine that. So in theta, what we do is normally the people that come to me, they have already some issues, especially people who have anxiety, people who have depression, or even people who have abusive childhood. And that has been manifesting in their life even after they become an adult. So what I do is I try to trace back all the way to mainly to their childhood. So what happened there? And a lot of time are related to their parents. So what I do is to find out the roots there. What are the beliefs that they're holding onto that, making such a bad influence in their life. So we can just heal it from there. So when I say heal is we release the negative beliefs, through theta healing, because theta healing is also like a meditative technique. It's like a meditation. So we don't prescribe any medication. Okay, it's pure about the emotional healing. Yeah, so from there we release the negative beliefs, and then we replace with the positive ones. So the result is instant. It's instant. So every of my client after the first session, so each session is around 45 minutes to 1 hour. So they will feel so much lighter. And even though their life started to change just right after. So this is like the basic of theta healing. So what, again, in a summary, in short, is we try to tap into the subconscious mind to find out what are the limiting beliefs there. And then we just release them and replace them with the positive and empowering one. So they can, when you change your perspective, that's how you can change your life, right? So we always say that if you want to change your life, you have to change your mind. But if you consciously try to change your mind, you only know it's only 5%, because subconscious, our mind is like running our life without we even knowing it, regardless of how smart that you think you are. Yeah.
This pops in your head, right? Well,
Yeah. It's in the back of your head. You don't even know that it's there because it's subconscious. It's a subconscious mind. So for example, like you heard about Robert Kiyosaki, right? He talked about the poor dad, rich dad and poor dad. So this is exactly the same concept, because if you're coming from the family like a poor family, that's the mindset or the major limiting beliefs that you might have is, money is always not enough. I will never get rich. I have to work really hard to earn money, right? So these are all the limiting beliefs. So when you grow up subconsciously, this is what you believe, and it's blocking you to earn more. Yeah, and in the opposite, when you're with the rich dad conscious, their subconscious mind is always enough. There's always money for me, regardless of I do or I don't do it, right? So it's like subconscious, they're running and making decisions in every step of your life. So they keep attracting money without they even knowing it or without even doing anything. There's a power of subconscious mind, and which of the manifestation or law of attraction that we keep always talk about is also coming from there.
It sounds, yeah.
Yeah.
As I was listening to you, that sounds hard. Like when you unlearn, or when you remove the habit that you have, it's kind of difficult, isn't it?
Sorry again?
When you try to unlearn the things that you are normally doing, your current mindset, it's a long process, I suppose, to be able to finally reach the new you.
Yes.
with a new mindset, with a very positive outlook. Sometimes it really really takes time, right?
Yes, correct. And again, we don't really like unlearn it, but we go to that place that change our feelings or our perspective about it. So the learning will still be there. I mean, everything experiences that is still there, but it won't affect you anymore. Yeah.
Right. Before we move on, let's greet a few friends
Okay, sure.
who are here watching.
Okay,
We,
sure.
yeah. So we have Mark. Hi, Mark. Mark's from UST. Jerty, hello. Jerty's also in Singapore. It's a classmate.
Hi.
Suchi, hello. Hill Valley, hello po. Mina, hi. Rosie, Jim, Apple Tea is watching.
Hi,
Um,
Apple.
RD, hello. So, hello everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. So,
Thank you for joining us.
we have Connie with us, and she is discussing with us Theta Healing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mina. Thank you. All right. So, Connie, when we say theta healing, is it through sound waves, or what's I know you discussed I mean how it can help us. So I'm just quite curious, because I only know one time I was searching for meditational music and I said theta waves. So there's also like I forgot already. See, so something like that. So is it through that, or is there any that
Yes.
comprises theta?
Yes, you will find a lot of music there in the theta hertz, like it's between 4 to 7 hertz. So actually, what that means is that it first of all, you make you feel really relaxed when you are in theta state, because normally theta, if you want to, everyone will be in theta state every day. Theta is like the moment that before you fall asleep, in between you fall asleep, in between you awake. So that was a very short moment. That is a theta. So sometimes, I don't know, I experience it a lot, and almost everyone that I know, they also experience it. Before you fall asleep, you will somehow have a lot of creativities coming out, like some ideas, or like suddenly there's some images, or there's something in the past, whatever. But it's a very, very short moment, and then you fall asleep, right? So that is a theta waves. It's more like a subconscious mind. It's an imagination and visualization mind. Yes. So when you are in theta, which means you are super relaxed. So that kind of music is really just for you to relax yourself, or even when all the sage or the monk, when they're in a very, very deep meditation, they can also attend the theta waves for really long time. Yes. So normally, as normal people, it's only that few minutes or few seconds that they will always be there. Yeah. So regarding your question, I don't use any sound healing. That's very common questions that many people ask me. Do you use crystal? Do I use sound healing? And some also ask
A
me, do
lot,
you use
right?
smoke?
There's also something called like Reiki, right?
Yes, yes. It's also a very, very good healing modality. As there's so many healing modality, I think that it's just my connection to data. So that's how makes me to become a data healer. Yeah. So what I do is mainly like consultation and meditation. Yeah. So in the session, I will always ask them, what do they want to heal, or what are the problems that are bothering them? And they will tell me, for example, whether it's money, whether it's career, and whether it's relationship. It's mainly like these three areas. And some of them also have health issues, because when you're emotionally too stressed for a really long time, at the end you manifest in physically in your body. Yes, so that I also have clients who have physical issues, but majority of my clients dealing with anxiety and depression, stress, insomnia, or like abusive like experiences. So those are my clients. So I will ask few questions, and I will have to do some testing to test if that's the real beliefs that they're holding in their subconscious mind. Yeah. So once I find out, I think it will be like around 15 to 20 minutes. And then they can just sit. They will close their eyes, and I will take them to meditation. So I will be the one who doing the healing, and they will know exactly step by step what I do. And they will also know what I'm doing with their mind. So they will have to give me permission to, to work on their subconscious beliefs, because we all have our free will that they can choose to yes or no. So the step is very safe. And then, yeah, so that's it. This is a very simple, like a process. Sometimes the most intensive part will be in the beginning, when we have to find out, because some people, they don't want to find out. They don't want to know. Maybe it's too hurt for them.
Yeah, they just want to forget.
Yes, they want to forget, but that is the thing, because you cannot forget it. If you can forget it, it won't bother you, right? If it bother you, which means it's already there. If you don't get it out, you will keep affecting your life. Yes, so that's why a lot of anxiety and depression are coming from people try to suppress their feelings, not just from the past, but also in day-to-day life. The things that happen, and their mind just want to accept it. Maybe they feel that, oh, I shouldn't have to reject it. I can just take it. But you can't take everything, right? So that's how at the end it manifests all the emotional illness. Yes, and later, if it's too deep, then later that you will have physical issues.
I'm just wondering, because sometimes it's really difficult to find out what the root is, specifically when there are a lot of things that you feel that you've already forgotten, but it won't really manifest that that's really the initial root uh, on the way that you are having this outlook at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to point out is that sometimes that 15 minutes wouldn't really work, right, to find out what's the real problem. Because if you have a lot of hurt, let's say, for example, and the only interface that you are thinking at the moment is this specific problem, where in fact that's not the root cause of the issues you have in your mind. That's why you have all this subconscious thing. That's why you think that, okay, I'm not good enough, right? These are the common things. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of of what I'm getting at the moment. So how do you go about that? I mean, because you said in the you have your first session. And
Yeah, very good questions. Yes, you're right. You're right. Because
we
we
talk
have
a lot.
so no, it's good. It's
There are
great.
a
It's
lot
a
of
really
questions.
great questions. Because we have so many limiting beliefs. Even myself, I still have to work on myself. So you imagine it's not just one or two sessions, but many times, if you can just release or remove that one block in your life can already soar. You don't have to remove everything, and it's impossible to remove everything as long as we are still a human. Things will keep happening, people will can still trigger you. Even I would get triggered by people as well from time to time. It's not that I don't have any anger. It's not that but I would let them go much, much faster when I'm aware that, oh, why I'm getting angry on this person or on this situation. And I will ask myself, what is this person or this situation they're trying to teach me? So it's more about the mindfulness. Yes. So sometimes just release that one block. I can give you an example,
Yeah, I think that's the best way.
which just happened
give-
on Saturday. I have a client from the US, so it was referred by one of a friend, someone that I don't really know, but who contacted me on Facebook, and this lady messaged me. She said, I just want to try again because she's tried different healing or even medication, but it didn't work. And then so we had just one session on Sunday, right? But she's been like getting into all this, trying to heal herself in the past 5 years.
Wow.
And she's still so anxious herself, and she still have anxiety. She still have depression. So what I find out was, by the way, so don't worry, when I share the stories, I will never disclose the
No,
name.
we don't need to name names.
So everything is
we're just talking
confidential.
about
Yeah, so
your
you will not know
experience.
who he is. So then, so I find out that she was abused by her parents when she was really young, in between 3 to 5 years old. Okay, so I find out that, and there was one particular event that happened in her life. When she talked about it, she broke down. She broke down. She was crying so hard, and she couldn't believe that event. She thought that she have already forgiven her parents, but she didn't. Otherwise, the emotion won't still be there. If you're healed, you will be able to tell the story without crying, without feeling hurt. But she was still hurting from that event when she was 5 years old. Yeah, so I just released that. Okay, so we work on it, we released that. So the session is around like a 55 minutes. And that was her evening time, my morning time. And I said, go to sleep, take a good sleep. And then 2 days after, I follow up with her. I said, hey, how do you feel? And she said, Connie, you won't believe that. She had dreams in that 2 nights after that, after the healing. And she said in her dream, she was back to her home, but her parents was not there. They were not there. And she was there with other family members.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I've never felt so safe and happy at home since I left home. Yeah, and that session, after that 1 hour, she already told me she felt there's a lot of like all the weight has already been lifted. And then she went to sleep, and 2 days after, she sent me the message. I was so happy. So it was just that one event, and she's totally complete, like different person already. It just last week, actually last Friday. Yeah, 1 week ago. So it's so many cases happen like this. Even like a grieving, people like a broken heart. It can be just done in 1 or 2 sessions, but normally 1 session you already feel that, and sometimes you just need that. Yeah.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah, I can share one more.
Yes.
That I have a client who her husband left her for 20 years, and they have 2 sons, and that lady has been holding this onto her heart. In 20 years, she was not be able to talk about her husband. If she mentioned about her husband, she started to cry. And she was referred to me by one of my clients. My client is her sister. So yeah, so I heal her sister, and then her sister referred her to me. So that session also, she was crying through, during almost the first 30 minutes of the session, which is good because you need to release that energy. And after that, so she felt great. And her sister told me, because then she back to another country, they live in the US. So they moved back to the country. They were just here for the holiday. Mm-hmm. So the sister told me, she said, Connie, you won't believe that after that session, and they had a family dinner just a few days after that weekend. And her sister, for the last 20 years, was be able to talk about her husband for the first time without crying. Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, I was just listening, and would you agree that sometimes healing would only come once you are ready?
Yes,
Once
absolutely.
you once you start to open yourself that, I really need to solve this problem. I mean, I am feeling this way, but I don't know where it's coming from. And, you know, everything is just in your head because that's what you're saying. That's your conscious mind.
Yes,
What goes on at the back of our head is something
yes,
that we don't know already.
yes, it's true. Everyone has their own timing. So that's why it's so funny. And they have their own timing and they have their own healer as well.
Mm.
So sometimes when their timing is right, they will find other healer or they will have to experience all these healers first before they find another healer. So in my case also, my clients, they've been to different, even like a medication, like psychologist or psychologist, or even different healing modality. And then they, after that experiences, and at the end, they came to me. Yeah, so everyone does have their own healing timing. And sometimes my client also told me, oh, you know what, I've been trying to tell my friends to go to you, but they never reply. I say, come on, you don't have to push them. You just get the message out there. When they see your life change and they are ready, they will take care of themselves. Yeah.
You are right. Before we move on, let's just greet a few friends who just came in. Hi,
Sure.
Nan. Hi, Lina. Lina's in the US. I think you've met Lina before. You had this event with Maria
I'm not
Lucero.
sure. I can't
Lina,
remember that.
Lina.
Hi, Lala.
Larsa Papario, yes. And we have Abby, Abigail, Mama Lalab, hello, Mommy Jazz, Mara, Janet, Saibot. Hi, A. Hello. So thank you guys for watching. We have an interesting topic. Guys, once again, if you have any questions, just please type it in and Connie will be happy to answer it for us.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
Yes.
no problem.
Um, Connie, so before you went to Theta Healing, have you tried other other ways? Or if it's all right to ask also, because I do believe a person who's now called a healer underwent some issues as well, um, in her past. Yeah, would you be able to share with us just a few bits on that journey before you?
uh, yeah, I think before I started doing healing, I've been doing meditation. Yeah, so I met my spiritual mentor, who is a monk, in Thailand around 10 years ago. So that's where and when my spirituality or my spiritual journey began from there. So I started to notice and believe that how powerful our mind, at that time was the secret was all over the world, right? Like a law of attraction. So everyone heard about that. So that was a time that I started to learn how to manifest things, learn how to be mindful, learn how to use my mind, how to, it's kind of like that kind of a superpower that was in my head. So I started to like when I started to learn how to do that, and I realized that I was be able to manifest a lot of things in my life, and that was pretty amazing. So that's how I've been like practicing spirituality. And then also I've been looking for like some energy classes that I can take, because I think that I want to learn more. And that's how Theta Healing appeared to me. But before that, I've never really tried any healings, because I think that since I started meditate, I've been really mindful of things, not really 100%, right? But at that time, I think I was be able to really try as much as I can. And that has already changed my life. So I don't really necessarily need healing, or maybe I didn't know at that moment. So it was until that I discovered Theta Healing, I realized, oh my God, there's so many beliefs that I had in my mind, especially the beliefs that I connected to my parents, so, from my mom, from my dad. And that is just like it really like surprised me. And I've been like working on that too in the first year, Either before I was taking classes and I was like healing clients, and that's how I really like it really amazed me the whole journey because I experienced that and it really changed my life. And then I have like 100% confidence that when I heal others, and also my clients' result, that also gave me a lot of confidence that, hey, you can be healed. And this is also I want to mention the new mission that I'm on, and it's my new project. It's called You Can Be Healed. So everyone can be healed as long as they want to, as long as they commit to make the rest of their life be the best of their life. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I think earlier in our episodes, I also have um, a person who's focused on chakra. So chakra,
Yeah, yeah,
chakra
yes,
healing.
yes.
So I mean, some of our audience already also learned few things about that. In our search for, becoming a better version of ourselves, yeah, we wanted to explore many
Yes,
things and find
absolutely. Yes,
wherein we can be at our best.
yes. It's really all about our mind and the perspective in life. Because I'm a Buddhist, so we always believe that because many people they say life is suffering, right? So you come to the world and then you suffer. But my personal belief is suffering is yes, it's inevitable. Sorry, pain is inevitable, but suffering is an option. It's your choice. Things that happen, we cannot stop. We cannot change the things that happen in your life,
Mhm.
right? Things that happen for a reason, but we can change how we see it. Yeah, how we want to see the things. Do we really want to let it affect us, or we choose to learn from it and move on? Yes, every obstacles or every setback, they're just be there to teach you some great lessons and to make you become stronger, smarter, and a better person.
Yeah, so it becomes a matter of perspective, right? On
Yes.
the way we see it. If we see that this is a failure, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not always 100% perfect. That no matter how hard we try, sometimes we fail. In so many different
Yeah.
areas.
So that's why data healing makes it much faster, much faster. Because once you change your beliefs, immediately you change your perspective. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, because when you said it's our subconscious mind that's actually um aligned when we talk about theta healing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me, well, as I said, I'm just amazed because how can you do that? How can you fix your subconscious mind, right? Because we know the things that we do with our conscious mind.
Yeah.
And I do believe that's where we always try and try to be positive. But sometimes, I would say we're only human, and sometimes uh, some things or situations make us vulnerable, and we cry. That's where we have all the pain. But once you align your subconscious mind, wow! I mean, it's just wow. How can you do that? The subconscious mind gets in the head, as you said before we speak, and I think that's the time where we have all these thoughts, imaginations, and all these things. Am I right?
Yes, yes. Many people they don't know that too of the subconscious mind, but now it's getting much much bigger because especially during this pandemic, during this COVID,
Yeah.
and people's consciousness has really been increased. They really want to. They started to have time to reflect in their life, and they also have a lot of problems coming out. So they started to notice the problems when they like during the lockdown, when they spend more time with the family. Many people they got triggers, and also couples they fight. Like there's so many issues like are happening, um, and so they started to know, oh, there's something wrong with me. There's something. It's not. I'm not saying right wrong. Okay, it's something like happening inside me, but I didn't know what it is. Yeah. And some people, they started to get like anxious, like, or anxiety, which they never have anxiety before, and they started
I
coming
do
out.
believe it's pretty common, and I think I've come through that during
Yeah.
this pandemic time as well, and I think most
Yeah.
people have.
Exactly, anxiety, panic attack, or even they started to, if they used to have like a depression before and started coming back, so things are start as like a stirring them inside. Yeah, and they, so that's why they started to, so that the, like a healing or the emotional healing or the spirituality, the spiritual modality started to become more popular right now. Even I got more inquiries, I got more clients who come for healing. It's also because of this. And you cannot, first of all, you also cannot go to the doctor. And they realize that it's just it's not the medicine. I'm not saying that if you are sick, please go to the doctor, okay, physically. But if there's something that you feel emotionally you need help, and it's okay to seek for help, it's okay to, and it doesn't mean that you're weak, and we all have that vulnerability, we all have that moment. I mean, allow yourself to be vulnerable, it is normal. Yeah, I just have to find which like a channel or which platform or which person that fits you or fits your needs or connected to you. That's much more important. Mm.
Yeah. I think that's the most important thing is you have that consciousness that there's a problem.
Yes.
Because once you don't, you cannot admit that there's a problem, you're going through something. I think that's a bigger problem.
Yeah, I believe
But having
many.
that consciousness that, hey, wait,
Yeah.
becoming too anxious, I'm becoming too angry these days, and I just don't think it's normal anymore. So I
Yes.
think that's one thing, a sign that there's an acceptance that there is a problem. So that's a good sign. I mean,
Yes.
that's what we are trying to say, that it's not always a good day for everyone, especially in this pandemic time. But you are in, I mean, you are doing good because you know that there's a problem. You just worry about the next step of what you're gonna do, right?
Yes. Yes. Correct. And especially when you started to have emotional, um, what's that called, imbalance. Don't wait for too long to fix it. Really, if you wait for too long to fix it, it might start to manifest, as I said, in your body. For example, people who have migraine have like a headache. It's very common for a lot of my clients. Yeah, and then that is already the symptom of something, you know, that there's some imbalance in your emotions. Yeah, so don't wait for too long.
But, but it's a good thing we're talking about this, right? I
Yes.
think that's most people would, there are two types, I think. Those who would like initially admitted that there's a problem, and the second type probably would be someone who just keep on ignoring it.
Mm,
It's like you stuck up all these emotions until it piles up this high, and then, as you said, this would affect many parts. It could show on the physical aspect of the body. You might get sick aside from the emotional stress you're encountering.
correct.
So yeah.
Yes, correct. Because again, I think that it is more about to take responsibility for your own health, for your emotional health and physical health. That's really our own responsibilities. Yeah, right. So the thing is, people, most of the time, the people, they keep blaming others or blaming outside. I mean, it's because of this person that I'm this. It's because of this situation that I'm like this, right? So that I think it's a time really that we have to take responsibilities because it is not working. Let's say if you see that this person who triggers you or make you feel angry or make you feel like this, I mean, if you don't like to be with them, you can move and change to be with another person. But what happened is another person will also trigger you with the same thing. So this is not, it's never going to be ended. There's no end. Like some of my clients, they don't like the company. They say, oh, you know, I don't like my boss. She or he is always like this. I feel so stressed working in the company. So the first question, I actually without ask, the background of her career history. So I asked her, how many jobs that you've already changed? She laughed. She laughed because every company that she joined, she has the same issue with the boss. So how many times that you need to change your job? You can try to ignore it. You can try to, avoid it. You can try to, you don't see anything, but it's happening. If you don't accept it or if you don't fix it, then even though you're going to the another company, you still, the situation is going to happen because you attract it. I hope this makes sense to you.
Yes.
Yeah, same as relationship as well.
Mm.
Same as relationships, the people they're attracting to certain type of people, relationship after relationship. Yes, and that's also, you think that you leave that person, that you will find a better one, and then you enter into another relationship, and somehow the same situation happen again. Yeah, so that's why I say take responsibility yourself while you're attracting that kind of people, and just, what are they trying to teach you? There's always the lessons there.
But it's like you let's say you are in this relationship and then you went to another relationship and then still didn't work out. So it just sounds like you are attracted to the same
Mm-mm.
type of people
There,
or same type of situation.
yeah, because there's some part inside you is not healed, or maybe something is lacking. Because when you keep seeking approval or love outside, that when you don't have that inside, you're going to attract the same kind of people who don't have love, and I mean for themselves, or who has lack in themselves. So imagine that this is kind of the energy that we set the attraction in our in our healers, like words. That's what we also said, that you attract the same energy as who you are. If you love yourself, you attract the people who know how to love themselves. Yeah,
So the key is to love oneself first.
to love yourself.
Yeah, before we move on, let's greet a few friends.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
hi, Eliza. Anna is here watching. She says, hi,
Hi,
Jenny.
hi, Liza. Hi, Anna. Hello.
Yeah. She said, Christine, you should watch this. Dolphin, who's in Indonesia, I believe. Hello. Hi, Dolphin.
Hi, long time
Hi,
no see,
hi,
everyone.
Vera. Hi, Mitch. Hi, Love. Hi, FJ. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you so much. Yes.
so, Connie, I just wanted to ask you. Later on, I'll let you. I'll give you the floor to invite people. But um, first, yeah. What can you give as an advice for people who are seeking for healing? I mean,
People who are what? Sorry. Can you speak a bit
seeking,
louder?
seeking for healing. So there might be a trouble. They're having anxiety and all that. I mean, it's like the basic things or basic steps that they can just do at the moment. I mean,
On their own, you
first,
mean?
yeah, the first steps, something like that,
Okay.
before they probably seek for help, seek for a doctor, or things like that. Just have a checklist that hey, there's something wrong, there's something going on that I
Hmm.
can't explain.
Okay. So if it's not a minor emotions, because sometimes you get triggers, or you get just temporary emotional imbalance, right? You don't need to go to the doctor if that is not really affecting your day-to-day life. Okay, so what I would do, first, of course, I would suggest meditation, but I also understand this is not many people. First of all, they don't really know the way how to do that, and also they might not ready for it. I would just say that they might not ready for meditation. Okay, so if you really cannot meditate, I would say do journaling. Okay, do the journal, because writing, not typing on the phone. Because sometimes
It's
they
what
love to.
most people do nowadays. They just
Yeah,
type on their
yeah,
phone.
but there's a reason why writing is much better, because first of all, it really gives your mind a piece, like a piece of relaxation when you're rewriting it. And also when you're writing it, you're also releasing the energy. Yes, you're also releasing the energy. So that first is meditation. Second, to write down if you're not feeling, for example, if you're angry in someone, on someone, that you can just write down why you're angry about them, why they triggers you. There's always a reason. Sometimes it's not because of that person, and most of the time it's because of you. And ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? And this will change your perspective instantly, will change your feelings instantly. Instead of holding on to the hatred or holding on to the anger, the resentment, that's going to harm yourself, right? Because in Buddhist, we always say anger or resentment is something like that you're holding the hot coal in your hand, wanting to throw into that person, but you're the one who is burning your own hand. Right? Always ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What is this person trying to teach me? What is this situation trying to teach me? Is this situation trying to teach me to be more patient, or to, there's always lessons there. So try to ask yourself, be quiet, sit down, do some breathing work. Maybe you can go to YouTube. There are lots of breathing work, or even just focus on your breath, and that can help you relax. And so from there, you will have, when you'll be more calm. When you're more calm, you'll be able to get your question, to get your answers.
Be able to understand more when you're calm, right?
Yes, yes. So it's always just like keep calm first. If you can, try to control yourself under any situation. And when you're alone, so just keep yourself calm and start to write down. Okay, if you want to say something bad to that person, write it down. No problem. Okay, no one is going to see. If you really want to release it, release it.
Yeah,
No
because you
problem.
might regret it, right?
Yes, you don't say it in your mouth, but write it down. Okay, write down in your notebook or in your journal. Yes, and then later just ask yourself, oh, so why is this person trying to, why I get so angry on him or on her, right? So there's a reason there. Yeah, maybe at the end it's not that person's fault, but it's something that is related to your past. That is most of the time is related to the past, or in the past is someone who treated you in the same way, and that hurts you, and that gives you that feeling. And when you realize that 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 moment, that emotion is already gone. Yeah. And forgive yourself. Don't be too harsh on yourself too. We are just a human.
I
Yeah.
do believe sometimes it's the expectations that kill it.
Sorry again, the expectation.
I think I do believe sometimes it's the expectations that that kills it, because there's nothing really wrong with another person what he's doing, but sometimes at the back of our head we
Mm,
have all this. He should be doing this, or she should be doing this. She should have known that I was expecting a greeting or something like that. So
mm.
it's our own expectations sometimes that put us in situations that are a bit awkward, and we feel bad. Why did we feel bad? Because he didn't remember this, because we were expecting another person to do this or do that or say that, right? So
Yes. Yes, correct. That's what we were taught in that way, right? Because when you're having expectation, it's easier for you to blame. When things didn't work out, you can just blame others. So that's what, like, I go back to earlier that I said, all of this is all about like loving yourself, right? Because when you have expectation, when people they didn't meet your expectation, and you have all the reasons, millions of reasons to blame them, and you make yourself feel better. Right? So the thing is, we are all equal. Why others have to take on your expectation? It's not their responsibility to meet your expectation, right? For example, if someone expected you to do something, and how would you feel? It's not my responsibility to meet your expectation to do this, right? Your expectation is yours, and I have my own expectation, so it's never going to end as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anna just commented, yeah. So
Yes.
Anna said, I agree, being calm at times can be challenging when facing certain situations. situation that triggers us.
Yes, correct, Anna. I hope you're well, Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Nat. Nat is also watching. Mom Rosanna, hello. Grace, hello. So thank you guys for watching. I was trying to say something. All right. So we talked about expectation and all these guys. Perhaps at this time, Connie, you can invite our viewers. Maybe they are interested on trying Theta Healing with you. So I'm giving you the floor.
The what? Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, my voice is not so loud.
Yeah, it's fine.
Is
Can
this
you repeat
better?
again? Yes, yes, it's better.
So okay, let me just read a comment from one of our viewers. Hi, Net. So she just said sometimes it's hard to be calm. That really affects us emotionally. It takes a lot of time and effort.
Yes, correct. I agree with that. So that is all about practice. It's all about practice, really. Because the thing is, if you don't try to work on it, you will affect your whole life. Baby step at a time. If you can hold it for 1 second this time, next time you can hold it for 2 seconds, and you can hold it for 3 seconds, and you can hold it for 1 minute. So don't, that's why I said don't be too harsh on yourself, because your mind, slowly, your mind will learn it. And once your mind learned it, trust me that your life will be much better. And not just your life, your emotions and your health will become much better. So step by step. Yes, step by step. Try to hold as much as you can, or take a deep breath. Don't hold onto your breath. Otherwise, it's just too much for you. Just take a deep breath, walk out, take a deep breath, and just walk away. You don't have to stay yourself in that situation if you don't want to. You have the right to say no, and you have the right to leave if you don't feel comfortable in that. Remember your right, and remember to set your boundaries. Don't let people take advantage of you. So you know what is the bottom line. If they cross the line, then you have the right to leave. You have the right to remain silent, or you just have the right to say no. So just remember this. This is also the way that how you can love yourself more and protect your energy. I hope this helped.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that, Connie. Yeah. Um, sometimes it's also hard to let go, right?
Yes.
Also something that's hard to do, and most of the time we tend to blame ourselves. Most of us are really hard on ourselves. We tend to blame. I could have done this. I could have done that. I could
Mm,
have not done this. So
mm.
things like that.
Yes, correct. I think you can. Actually, I just started my own YouTube channel, and I'm doing a lot of emotional health and emotional healing tips there. So the topic that you mentioned, how to deal with your past mistakes, I just have the episode there.
Oh,
So
that's
you can go to my Instagram. You can be healed. As my Instagram, you can be healed, and there's a link there that you have access to my YouTube, and there's episode 4 that I just posted 2 weeks ago. It is exactly about how to forgive yourself and how to let go of your past mistakes. So that would be very inspiring. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So
Yes.
guys, you heard that from Connie. We can find the link. She's got all the tips for us on healing and all that on her YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. And there's one comment from it regretting of this
Situation perhaps.
situation. Yes, it is same in my episode that I mentioned about that, because when the things that you haven't that you it's about the forgiveness of yourself, right? So that's what, if you cannot forgive yourself, that's where the regret is there. So that hop into my Instagram, you can be healed, and click the link in my bio and go to my YouTube, and you will see that. I believe that will help you. Yeah.
Chat Adriana is here. Hello. Nice to see you. All right, so you got that, guys. You can find the link on
On
Connie's
my Instagram, you can be healed.
chat.
Yes.
The Instagram name is You Can Be Healed. So she's got all the tips for us on how we can let go, how can we forgive ourselves, and I think you have also more tips on how to love oneself.
Yes, yes. So I will have different episodes every week, and that the coming one would be on Tuesday. That I'm talking about grieving, because a lot of people they also ask me how to cope with grieving when their loved ones pass away or their friends. So that
Oh,
that would
sorry, is
be,
that grieving?
yeah, grieving. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about that in my next episode. So there's a hope into there. And if you have any comments or you want me to talk any specific topic, you're welcome to leave me message and let me know.
Thank you so much for that, Connie. So guys, do you have any other questions? Just please type it in,
Yeah,
and
don't be
Connie will be
shy.
happy to answer it before we go.
Yeah, let
But
me know.
meanwhile, I'd like to really, really thank you, Connie, for saying yes and being our guest this
You're
episode.
welcome. Thank you for having me again.
So today we've talked a lot about healing, and the most important part of it is it's funny how when we talk about all this anxiety and all this traumatic issue
Mm,
boils down to one. We should learn to love ourselves.
yes,
I think that's
it's a really huge topic to love yourself. It's a really huge one. It's not just one lesson, but there's
yeah.
like million steps. As I said, right, step by step that you will get there. So the love yourself is started with to take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself physically and emotionally. Especially your emotion is very important because that affects your physical, right?
Yes. And I do agree with you that it's not an instant thing. It's
Mm,
we just have to take it one step at a time. And
yes.
as you said, it takes practice.
Yeah. That's why I also encourage people if they want to try healing, because that can really, that can take you to a really huge step. That may you have to work on yourself a long time, but sometimes one healing session can really help you a lot, really, really a lot. That's what I've witnessed all my clients' result, and that really amazed me. Yeah, I'm really happy for them too.
Thank you so much. So, guys, if you don't have any other questions, I do believe Connie has something else to do later in the
No problem.
afternoon.
Yes,
But
I'm
I'm really,
fine.
really thankful for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you too. Thank you so
And
much.
to all our viewers, thank you so much, guys, for watching. And I hope that you too learned a lot from Connie, as I did.
Thank you.
So,
Do you
yeah,
have any question for me? Last question.
guys, do you have any other questions?
How about you? Do you?
Anyway, so let's hop into Connie's Instagram. You can be healed, and we can find her YouTube link in there on her bio. And she's got a lot of tips for us on letting go. And she just did mention that she's going to have a new episode next week that she'll be releasing that will talk about breathing. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. Can I share one
Yes,
final
please.
word to
Yes,
all
please.
of you? So just I want you to know that you're never too late and never too broken to be healed. Seriously, so don't feel that because whatever that happened in your past, or whatever age that you are, because my oldest client is like 73 years old,
Wow.
and my youngest is like a 13 years old. So you're never too late or too broken to be healed. It is all about you. Do you want to get healed so you can live the rest of your life, the best of your life? And you can do that. And you can be healed.
And it's always I mean, a work in progress, right? We can never say we're healed at one time, one point, and we're
But as
okay, we're good. We
mm-mm.
want
Yeah, as I said, sometimes that one step can change your entire life already. So I would say, don't underestimate that just one step. As the example that I shared earlier, my client in the US, just that one step, I believe that her life is going to change. And also my clients before, who was carrying all those anger, hatred with her husband, who left her for 20 years. And she was holding on those emotional baggage for 20 years. And just one session is gone. And sometimes you might just lead that one, and your life can change entirely upside down or 180 degree. Yeah.
sometimes it's really
Yeah.
perfect timing when it's coming, when it's when you're ready, right?
When you're ready,
When you're
exactly.
ready.
Absolutely. Yes.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes we try hard.
Huh?
We try hard. We feel that it's time. It can, things can happen, but it doesn't. I mean, right? I mean, I do, no. Is it right? Sometimes it's fate. It's timing, and everything that coincides.
Yeah. If it doesn't happen, if sometimes you feel that that something is going to happen, but it doesn't happen, you perhaps I would say very most likely and very high chance there are some limiting beliefs behind that is holding that back, or maybe you subconsciously, for example, just very quick example, people want to manifest money, right? I want to earn this amount of money every month or annually. But subconsciously, they don't believe they deserve it. Even the money is already in front of your door, but because
Yeah.
subconsciously you say, oh, I might not be able to, you manifest, you say one sentence, I'm going to earn, like, for example, $10,000 a month. The other way, immediately you say, oh, how I'm going to do that? I may not be able, I don't deserve it. I shouldn't, they have a lot of doubt. And even the money is already in front of your door, it will just return. Yeah. So you
It goes
imagine
to
that.
say you haven't wholeheartedly accepted what
Sorry
you
again, you have to
manifest.
subconsciously, you need to accept it. You need to believe that you deserve it. You need to believe that it is possible for you. Because many people, they will not think it's possible for them to earn like $10,000 a month or even a million. People, they don't believe it. But those who believe it, they are the one who make it. They were the one who earned it.
All right, guys, let's all believe in that.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm
Thank you
so
so
thankful
much.
and
It's a
grateful to be
wonderful,
here.
wonderful, wonderful afternoon talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me too. Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and just do comment on
Yep.
this live, so I'll still be able to read it later on. So if you guys
Yep.
have any other topics that you want us to talk about, just type it in, just message me, just you know I started this talk just before the pandemic, and I just normally say to all the guests that I invite, I don't get anything out of it. I mean, but I do gain knowledge, and
Thank you so much.
I enjoy talking to experts like yourself, Connie, and
Mm.
I am just wholeheartedly overwhelmed that I'm able to help others and I'm able to reach out to others. I mean, that's my happiness. I mean, sometimes you just have to find what makes you happy, right? So this is something that I'm passionate about it because I'm able to help, and somehow with that feeling, yeah, it makes me happy. So that's my reward.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, the reward will come soon.
Okay.
You will, you will. And you're helping a lot of people too. Yeah. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Connie. Thank you, guys, and I hope to see you next
Yeah.
time.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
See you. Bye bye.